You're not bugging. You're not losing your mind. A lot of people want to make you feel like you're crazy just because you can read them. You know what I'm saying? And people will make it seem like you're over exaggerating, you're bugging. What made you think that? What made me think that is my body recognized everything you're trying to do. I already know what you're thinking about. I already know the next move and your next move. I'm so in tune with myself that it allows me to be in tune with you. I'm reading you. I know everything about you. I know what direction, I know the angle, I know your approach. And I'm not going for it. So people will try to make you seem crazy because you're that in tune. But value your intuition, value your insight, value the signals that go off, because it'll save your life, I promise you.
Welcome back to another episode of Whip Media TV. I'm your host, Whip Media Mickey, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the channel. Subscribe right now. Join the Vibe Tribe. And if you're feeling generous and want to leave me a little tip for my hard work in editing, I'll leave the link down below. Let's get it. Okay, on today's episode, I cover the 8 hidden messages in the Truman Show that relates to the world we live in today. Okay, for those who haven't seen the show, The Truman Show is a movie about a man born and raised in a little world created just for him. The little world is filled with thousands of hidden cameras that record and air his life on live TV 24 hours a day for decades on end. See, it's almost identical to what we consider streaming that developed into today's society that makes you question life in itself. And most importantly, Truman has absolutely no idea any of this is going on. He's the star of the most popular TV show in the world, and it's completely obvious to the fact. While watching the movie, you can draw some unsettling comparisons between it and the lives we all live today. Governmental surveillance aside, we live in a world where just about each and every one of us is willingly broadcasting our lives to anyone and everyone willing to watch it. Basically in real time. See, the true fact is that we're all living our own version of the Truman Show. Message number 1. Everyone has access to some of our most personal secrets. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, Tinder, Google, you name it. Our lives are basically being translated into digital by our own hands. See, people post updates on where they're located, where they're going, what they're doing, what they're eating, who they're with, how they're feeling, and to often give out information that is way too personal. And sure, not everyone in the world is interested in you and the things you do, but there so many are. Otherwise, why in the world would you be spending so much time glued to your phones? We all do it. See, what we don't realize is that people watch your life unfold from a distance and almost never know when they're doing it. Message number 2. There's a product placement everywhere. This is probably the most amusing part of the Truman Show. You have different characters clearly selling products to those watching the show. Truman himself may be obvious, but everyone else knows exactly what it is he or she is being pitched. In our day and age, we are bombarded with advertisements all the time. Every time you use social media or visit any of your favorite websites, you're being advertised to. See, digital advertising has gotten so advanced that ads can literally follow you across the web. More than that, with all the name products we wear, all the cars we drive, the songs we dance to in videos, we're basically walking advertisements for ourselves. Message number 3. We're convinced that a safe, comfortable job is a dream job. You hate your job. You have a desk job. That's the best job anyone can ask for. It's time to face the facts. We're all being bred to work desk jobs. They're safe, They're comfortable. They're going to allow for a decent life. Are you looking for a decent life? Because most of us won't settle for that. Not to mention, nothing is really safe. Consider how many people were laid off in the past decade. Message number 4. We're taught that a safe, comfortable life is a dream life. See, most people are struggling to live a safe life. A life that allows for 4 walls, a roof, a clean water, food, and not having to worry about losing your life or the life of your family and friends. And let's face it, most of you watching this don't have all of that to worry about. See, most of us have either been shuffled into this sort of stagnant lifestyle or have chosen it for ourselves. See, the problem is, it isn't maintainable. Too much comfort and safety gets to our heads, makes us go a little crazy. As humans, we need to take risks to feel alive. Message number 5. We are controlled by our fears and uncertainty. Truman couldn't get over his fear of water. Those running the show knew this because they made sure he was afraid. And then they used this fear to control his life, making sure he stayed in a little bubble they created for him. You most certainly don't realize it because that's the point. But people, government, corporations all use the same scare tactic to make sure you do what they want you to do. It's manipulation 101. Message 6. We accept the reality of the world with which we are presented. As Christoph, a character in the Truman Show, responsible for creating the show, brilliantly puts it. See, there are infinite realities we can experience in this world. Why? Because a reality is nothing more than an interpretation of our perception of the world around us. Truman never figured out that his whole life was being lived for others to enjoy and or profit off of, because he took everything he saw for face value. He didn't question. He didn't wonder. He didn't bother to consider maybe, just maybe, there was a different, more authentic reality that surrounded him. Message number 7. Everyone you know is an actor. You never get to see the real person. Truman's best friend was hired to be his best friend. His father was hired to be his father. Same goes for his mother, wife, co-workers, neighbors, etc. They were all paid actors, nothing else. While this may not be the case in your life, those around you are really only acting. Think about it. How often do you act yourself around those around you? Surely you act yourself around those closest to you, to some extent. But when it comes to most people, you're basically putting on a show. Same goes for everybody else. Message number 8. People only care about you while you're relevant. Where's the TV guy? Parking lot attendants. Probably one of the most favorite lines from the whole movie. Once the show comes to an inevitable end, you get to see the reactions of those who spent decades, literally decades, watching the show. Best thing they can come up with was basically, what should we watch next? People only care about you as long as you're relevant, as long as you're somehow pertinent to them in their life. See, as soon as you no longer interest or entertain them, you're basically dead to them. If you don't think this is the way that our world works, then think again. By nature, people only care about things, ideas, other people who affect them. See, if you aren't relevant, their minds will automatically shift to something or someone else. It's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, it's just what it is. The 8 hidden messages in the Truman Show movie that relates to the world we live in today.